dun, dun. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Mafia.
Yo, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to another episode of the People's Rebuttal. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Oh, yes, good morning. Okay, so we have a topic this morning that's rather peculiar for myself to be discussed at a later time. But the topic this morning is the law. Really?
Yeah.
Really, the law. So, a couple topics came up, some discussions. Very interesting, I shall say. But fellas, feel free to take it on and give me your
Well, let's go through our
Topic.
quick little list of craziness. So it's illegal to chew gum in Singapore.
okay.
I actually read a little bit more about it. They spent like $150,000 a year
Yeah, you're
cleaning
fucking
gum
kidding
up in
me.
Singapore.
Oh, that makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay.
So it's illegal to run out of gas in the German Autobahn.
Is it free?
The gas?
Yeah.
No.
Of course.
But they do have a speed limit on some of it because they had some people going too slow. But obviously, how fast people go on the Autobahn, it's a big deal.
Now,
It's
what's the Autobahn? I'm not familiar with
so
it.
it's the highway that used to have no speed limit
Ooh.
It used to
in Germany.
but it has one now.
It does in sections because they had a bunch of blind turns,
Oh,
and you got
okay.
some dude in a Lamborghini doing 180
150.
miles an hour and comes around the corner and sees grandma in a station wagon.
pushing a grocery cart.
So
What a great idea. No
Yeah.
speed limit.
they used to have them in Montana, New Mexico. They had strict endangerment laws, and actually in Texas, we have what's called the flow of traffic.
Really? I never
Yeah.
heard of that.
If everybody's going 80 miles an hour and you're doing the speed limit, you're actually breaking the law.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think some of these areas are a little outdated. It's like, who the fuck drives 50, 55? So I'm thinking about the Autobahn, and it makes perfect sense. We buying these expensive cars that have fucking 180 on the fucking dash, 200, and I got to drive 60 miles per hour.
Well, there's nothing funnier than watching a Ferrari or Lamborghini in North
Drive
Dallas
slow.
sitting in traffic. I love that. That is like the funniest thing in the
Yeah.
world to me.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So if we buy these Hemis and we buy these Hellcats or whatever, you should be able to open them up. I mean, in certain areas, but I just think overall they need to speed up the speed limit
We know somebody who opens it up.
Oh, don't.
Yeah.
quite a bit.
And then video and going 120.
Yeah.
Right.
Got his
video.
phone up like this.
Right,
Look at the white line. It's solid.
right, right.
But look,
So
Go ahead.
what's
go ahead.
the fastest you ever drove in a car
In the car?
or vehicle? I'm sorry, you might not drive cars.
Well, car is one thing. Motorcycle is a whole nother topic.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, motorcycle then.
I've redlined.
What'd that mean? Explain that to us
On your
common-
RPMs, when it go from 1 to
Yeah,
6, 7,
You maxed it out.
yeah, I'm in the red part.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm wide.
How did
wide.
that feel?
What? It's kind of like an orgasm, bro. Seriously.
Oh, wow.
Like
It's not.
to Zach, it wasn't. To Zach, it wasn't.
You get 180 miles an hour. I was going between Midland and Odessa on a bike, 180 miles an hour. And although you don't really, because you're out there, it's not really a ton.
Mhm.
Just knowing that all it takes is
A
an
rock.
ant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, going that fast. I knew a guy who was doing like 70 miles an hour, and dog jumped out in front of him. He hit the dog, and
Split
now
him in
he's
half.
all
Yeah,
Oh, he
He's
went
all-
flying.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He's
What
all
about the
messed
dog
up.
though?
Dog, I don't know. I'm assuming dog
Yeah.
splat.
Man.
I wonder, was that a murder case? We're talking about laws for
Murder.
killing the dog.
I don't know. It's Texas, so I doubt it.
Man, they never mind.
All right, we got tons of these, so
Yeah,
let's
no doubt.
plot them. It's illegal to hike naked in Switzerland. My main question with
Ooh.
that is who was hiking naked that they were like, all right, man, we're gonna have to make a law.
Had to be a
Whatever.
motherfucker that had a old hose hanging out. They're like,
You can't wear your Winnie. You can't wear Winnie the Pooh in Poland because
did
Pooh
you say
don't have
weenie,
pants.
Weenie the Pooh?
Winnie the Pooh,
I thought you said Weenie the Pooh right after the
because
naked.
Pooh don't have pants, and they think
Yeah.
that's provocative. I actually read that because I was
Ooh.
very interested. in it.
Ooh.
It's illegal to ride a cow while drunk in Scotland. Again, who was riding a cow drunk that they were like, we need to make a law for that?
But riding the cow's okay.
I guess you can ride the cow, you just can't be drunk.
Hmm.
All right, so to all the guys that ever watched this, you cannot walk into a hotel in North Carolina and say that you're married. So in Texas, you have to live together for 2 years. You have to claim that you're married. There's a
Common.
whole in order for it to be common law.
Yeah.
If you walk into a hotel and you register at that hotel that you are, yeah, we're married. You know, if a person goes, hey, are y'all married? And you go, yeah, we're married. And they write you down as married. In North Carolina, you are officially married. That is all it takes.
Really?
No joke. Do not go to North Carolina and claim that you're married to that girl, even if it's like you're trying to get something for free. It doesn't matter, because I actually read the articles. I was curious. I actually went a few of these. I was like, what the fuck?
Interesting.
But because registration in North Carolina is considered a legal binding deal, you are officially married to that girl that you just claimed that you shacking up with at a hotel.
So all you people that's thinking about going to Vegas to elope, go to North Carolina and get a hotel and say
you wouldn't even have to pay for anything.
Man, why
I
not?
mean, literally.
Why not?
So does it work? Does it work in the opposite direction? Like if we walk in, we say we divorced.
But you are married.
No, because I'm assuming there's
Look,
that
we
is
about to
legal
go
binding.
down.
I don't think it works in reverse.
Yeah, we're divorced.
Yeah. Well, hey, okay.
So you notice I put a bunch of tech. You must hang artwork in Wyoming buildings. So in the great state of Wyoming, that's what the article said. Any public building erected must have art displayed valued at 1% of the building's cost, although not to exceed $100,000.
Really? It must have been somebody in government that had a bunch of art. They probably
So you gotta think. I'm thinking. So most laws, in order to even be in consideration to be made, somebody has to have a problem with it, right? Apparently, it must be abundance of something going on.
Some dude tried to okey doke. Some dude got his daughter pregnant who was in the legislature and said, y'all go check into this hotel. They'll give you a free upgrade if you tell them you're married. And then that son bitch wrote in a law and was like, I'm just going to write this in here real quick. Hey, Governor, I need you to go ahead and sign this.
Wow.
That fool signs it. Okay, I booked y'all a room, but I said y'all were married in order to get you the upgrade. So when you check in, just make sure you tell them you're married.
Wow.
Dude walks in, married. What?
Wow.
I wonder, is that the law all around the world? Because me and my wife have got some great benefits around the world
from
saying that it's our anniversary.
Oh no. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it that actually is fraud. Legally speaking, that is fraud.
I was just playing.
In case though, if you basically tell a lie and receive something
in
with
return,
a monetary value,
okay. I get
you have actually committed fraud. Now, is anybody actually going to do anything about it? I don't know. Those upgrades really don't cost a hotel all that much money. They don't really give you something that they're not prepared to lose money on. So,
man, these chocolate covered strawberries and the champagne was key in our great experience.
I didn't know this was true. You must honk when passing a car in New Jersey.
What?
That's what it said.
Everybody
I
gonna
thought
be
they were
honking.
just being rude.
But that means every time you hear a car honk, they might not be honking at you. They may be passing your ass.
It's gonna be a lot of I don't know, dead batteries, because there's gonna be a lot of passing. Huh?
It's illegal to build a sandcastle in Spain. I don't.
The fuck?
It's illegal to reincarnate without permission in China.
What? Wait a minute.
Like
what are we reincarnating?
Yourself. You can't reincarnate. You can't come back as an ant or a cricket. I'm assuming the purpose of that is so you can't claim, because then they'll go to you and go, "Did you get permission to do that?"
I'm still my first.
So
me.
you can't claim.
I'm still my first me.
Right.
I
Because then
never
your
died.
previous self would have to
Get the
have gotten permission. They do have a law that I really do like, but we'll get to that here. Married women can only have 1 glass of wine in Bolivia. Well, that sucks, because that means I can't get her to go pass out. And then
what if it was a 28-ounce glass?
what if the bottle, if you just drink directly out of the bottle, it is a single glass. I mean,
My
it's a
point
glass
exactly.
bottle.
My point
Obviously.
exactly.
It is illegal for your chicken to cross the road in Quitman, Georgia. I actually looked that one up again.
Quitman, Georgia.
It is illegal. I'm assuming they just don't want to answer the question.
I'm gonna say, quit, man, in Georgia.
Here's my law that I like. You must provide for your elderly parents in China.
That is the law.
Yeah.
But I wonder what that constitutes. Like,
No, it was money. It's place to stay. It's all of it.
well, Bible says that, so I'm good with that. I would do it anyway.
It is illegal to eat a person in Idaho. Who ate who? Who made it a thing that they had to make a law in Idaho that said you can't eat somebody? Although there is an exception. I did read that there is an exception.
I'm listening.
As long as it's on top of a potato.
Like if it's life or death, if you're stuck in the and you have to eat somebody or you die of starvation. Yeah.
Oh wow. You gotta love legislators. Right?
I'm gonna say that. I mean, they call it the air fouling legislation, but in Malawi, you can't fart. They call it that you're fouling the air.
Okay,
You're
so
making it smell bad.
So
where is it? Malawi.
We need to look up where that is. They better not have no cars over there.
They
better have no.
Well, of course they're gonna have cars.
That's foul in the air.
Well, I'm.
What constitutes foul in the air?
Farting. That's what they're talking about here.
Exhaust
and just imagine,
exhaust.
and imagine how many people get away with. That's Africa. Mozambique.
Really?
Above.
Wow.
All that air, all that fresh, clean air out there. You mean to tell me we can't bust no cheeks out there?
Nope. No farting.
They must have been when they were tearing down the rainforest.
It is illegal to call a woman an unchaste name in Oklahoma.
Unchaste name.
Can't call her a hoe. Slut.
Really?
Yep.
It must have been an abundance of it.
A misdemeanor.
Right.
I call her a misdemeanor.
It's illegal to handle salmon suspiciously in the UK. What was that dude doing with that salmon that they were like, hold on, man. You can't do that. We're going to make a law for it.
Salmon have teeth.
What you trying to say? You hope he wasn't?
I hope not.
Oh, okay.
I could.
Yeah, I don't know what he's on. It's illegal to tell fortunes in Maryland. I'm good with that. Nobody needs all that. You can't flush the toilet after hours in Sweden.
What?
You better do your business in the morning.
Just don't flush it.
Ugh.
He said, ugh. I'd rather not flush than hold it. I'm going to flush me.
I guess you got to just take it outside. I mean, if I can't flush.
Man.
It's illegal to die in the House of Parliament. That's UK. I don't really understand. I mean, what you going to do about it? You going to throw me in jail? Throw my dead body in jail?
Right. There's nothing you can do after I'm dead anyway. I'll go die on purpose in there.
Yeah.
In Alaska, it is illegal to wake a sleeping bear to take a photo. I say let them wake it.
Let them wake it.
Let them wake it. Let them have at it.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
In Virginia, no hunting on Sundays unless you're killing raccoons.
They must have an influx of raccoons.
But just, yeah, I'm just going to.
No killing on Sunday.
So in Texas, you can get married by proxy. In other words, if I'm out of the country and I'm going to marry somebody, I can sign some paperwork. And Mr. Vaughn over here can go to the wedding in my place and be my proxy to get married in Texas
Proxy meaning what? What's proxy mean?
on my behalf. So you go marry her, but you're not married to her. I'm married to her, but you did it for me.
So I just stepped in for you.
So all the guys who don't want to go to their own wedding, all you got to do is just like sign some documents and somebody can go do it for you.
Man, just go to North Carolina and get a hotel,
Yes.
bro.
That is true.
Get some good old sugar from Vaughn.
That's true. In Tennessee, you can't hold public office if you've ever been in a duel.
What's a duel?
Ding, ding, ding. Gun duel, 10 paces,
Yeah,
fire, swords, a duel.
In Tennessee missing the E.
Yeah, it's fine. No bulletproof vest while committing murder in New Jersey. Really?
Oh, if you're gonna be about that life, be about that life.
Man,
That don't make
Yeah,
no sense.
you're gonna be about the life, be about it.
Who has the bulletproof vest?
The murderer.
Right.
If you're going to commit murder, you can't wear a vest. So the guy who's committing, like, that is his big, like, that's the thing he's concerned about. Is
So the police take theirs off when they?
Well, it doesn't make no sense.
My point exactly.
Man, it just Delaware pawnbrokers can't take artificial limbs.
But why?
Well, I'm assuming people were stealing people's artificial limbs from the pawnbrokers.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
funny.
selling them to the
Not
pawn
funny.
shop.
Not funny. I
Hey,
get
we
it,
got
though.
this leg over here if you need it.
In Scotland, if someone knocks on your door and requires the use of a toilet, you must let them enter.
Bullshit. You bullshit lie. I know
Uh,
you lying.
Okay,
That
so
had
this
to
is
be a
the
police tactic.
this is the Arizona. Yeah, I gotta take a dump. Let me in. Do you have a warrant? No, I gotta take a dump. So this one we talked about the other day. It is illegal. It is against the law to have a sleeping donkey in your bathtub after 7 p.m. in Arizona. So I think I told y'all basically where that came from. They had the flood come through.
Well, tell the people. Tell the people where it come from.
So I guess back in way the fuck back ago, there was some guy who let his donkey sleep in the bathtub. A flood happened and the donkey washed down the deal. Hence, you can't have a donkey sleeping in a bathtub.
Oh, the donkey washed down what?
Wash down the road.
I thought you was gonna say he went down the damn sink.
Down the drain.
What? He went down the drain. That shit is crazy. Just to come up with the rule just makes you wonder, how did we get to that point? And what happened?
Well, yeah,
You know?
because obviously the reason you can't have a sleeping donkey in a bathtub after 7 p.m. is because of what happened. I mean, every time one of these laws, you can't hike naked in Switzerland. There's obviously something happened in Switzerland, whatever it may be, that some dumbass. I mean, because you just sitting around aren't going to think, hey, people in Switzerland shouldn't, be naked. Yeah, it's crazy. So we did all the crazy and the joking laws, and now you got.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
And the conversation actually started with, how laws have been applied and how they're used, for getting no-knock warrants. Obviously, it's Breonna Taylor that was a no-knock warrant. Had the kid in Minnesota here not too long ago, no-knock warrant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
He was sleeping on the couch
at his cousin's house. No-knock warrant.
They knocked. He reached for his gun. They shot him dead.
Yep.
Was that on camera?
The cops admitted it. I mean, even if it was or wasn't, I mean, the cops basically
I'm just saying they saying he reached for his gun.
Of course.
That's what I'm saying. So I was asking, I'm wondering, did they have it on body cams showing that he reached for his gun? Or, because now you leave everything up to speculation.
They did. They had it on camera.
And he reached for the gun. And the argument isn't that...
I seen him raise up from the couch. I ain't see no gun.
Did you see did he even reach?
I mean, he was asleep on the couch. You know what I'm
But
saying?
I'm saying, did he move fast? Or?
I'm gonna move fast. The damn door get kicked off the hinges.
Oh yeah.
And if I got that thing, it's coming up.
You saying that they kicked the door open?
Yes, no knock warrant.
No. I'm saying you saying that they kicked the door open and just started firing.
Well, when they saw him raise up, their claim was he raised up with the gun pointed at them.
Well, what the fuck is he supposed to do? I mean, what do you expect when you go come into somebody's house unexpected? You don't know what the fuck's waiting on that. I mean, who made up that law?
Amir Locke.
And then on top of that, it was something about a suspicion of drug sales.
Can you play the video?
Or what have you?
It says they had the video.
And there were no drugs found.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
I was about to say, look like more people in there than one. Fucking ads.
Ad one of one.
I was like, it's like 3 or 4 people in there.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
But you know, Breonna Taylor, you know, she was another no-knock warrant. We know for a fact that he fired at the police, but if he doesn't know who they are, you know, they had years ago people knocking on doors saying police and then going. Hell, New York, they had that guy. They had that guy who was going around wearing a police vest, going into people's houses and robbing them and killing them. Obviously, no-knock warrants. Their purpose is to catch you off guard, but when you catch somebody off guard, you know, you can't then say they don't have a right to defend themselves. I am not for the. I always say this: there has to be a better way.
God damn.
Oh, yep. Nope. There was a gun.
Even if it was.
Oh,
bro.
no. I'm with you. Yeah, he raises his hand.
His hand or a gun?
Well, shit, look how fast they walked in. What
Come
the
on,
fuck is
man.
he supposed to do?
And this is in the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah. They shot it out of his hand.
They shot it out
Or
of
he let go of it. He may have heard him say police.
I don't give a fuck if they do yell police when you come in.
Yeah, gun.
Yeah, but what are you supposed
Good.
No, I'm with you. But we're not arguing. I'm agreeing with the no-knock warrant and that you can't just expect somebody, because I've been woken up before in the middle of the night, whatever the case may be, dogs fighting, people arguing, kids arguing. I don't know what's going what. If somebody was screaming police, I wouldn't. You're not really clicking. You're not really like fully, you know, you're asleep. This dude's laying on the couch. All he hears is a bunch of banging. You know, maybe they are screaming, maybe they're not screaming, but even if they are, you're going to have a reaction. And that you can just turn around and start shooting somebody for having that reaction, which again, this to me goes back to, did the police, so the girl who was the cop who was convicted here in Dallas,
yes,
of Bochum John's murder.
Yeah.
The thing that came out with that was she had the opportunity to retreat, right? And so she walks into the apartment, she sees this guy, I'm sorry, I've been to those apartment complexes. Every damn floor looks the same. I've knocked on the wrong doors. I've done all that crap. So if I give her that, right? If I give her, and I've talked to somebody because I was like, hey, dude, have you ever been in apartments like that? And he said, I've been in those apartments. All that shit looks the same. You don't pay attention to no mats and plants.
But yours.
Oh, I don't know, but
I'm sorry.
No, but here's my point. If we give her everything till the moment she opens up that door, sees that somebody else is in her apartment, and this is where I believe her conviction is good. The moment that he stands up, she has every opportunity to back up and walk out the door. Gun drawn, fine. You think you're in your apartment? Fine. At that point, that's not my couch.
That's not my coat hanger.
That's not my TV.
That's not my shoes by the door.
But if you give her, I always try to say, if you give them the benefit of the doubt to a certain point, I give her the benefit of the doubt. She pulls her gun. She's obviously just staring at him. You have the opportunity. This is where her conviction's good. Back the fuck up. This dude's in an apartment complex in Minnesota. You want to do a warrant and a search and seizure? Fine. Have at it. You know where the apartment's at. You know where the back of the apartment's at. You knock on the door. Let's say you bust the door down. You don't need to enter. The person's not going anywhere. You got the back of the apartment covered. You got the front of the apartment. It's in like a house that's got 20 acres. And even then, you just take more police officers. You surround the entire house. You move forward. But you move forward with caution. I do believe, like you knock, they don't answer, you knock the door down. Yes. Is it going to take more time to get this done? And most police officers are going to say, well, they're just going to arm themselves. Well, we go back to the way that they used to take castles. Starve the motherfucker out. What difference does it make? You can make slow progress. Oh, but he's going to be able to arm himself. Okay, well, let's remember, most likely he's already armed. Anybody who's got that's already got a gun. You know, knock warrant, there's a good chance they're going to start firing anyway. You're either a rival or they're prepared to go down shooting. So why aren't you proceeding with more caution instead of just running in and having to shoot somebody who's sitting on a fucking couch?
Sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, sleeping
on the couch. Yeah.
You know, why do you have to kick a door down? Obviously, somebody shoots at you, you return fire and kill somebody who has absolutely nothing to do with what you're there for.
In town,
Breonna Taylor. So no knock warrants need to go. I'm 100%.
Shit, I mean, what's the success of them? I mean, the probability or the likelihood of something bad happening is so high in that particular situation. It should be, they should throw that out, man. It doesn't make any sense. They literally walked in there and shot that guy before. I don't give a fuck. I mean, most of us gonna go to sleep with a gun next to the bed
before he's even fired a shot.
He even get up, yeah.
And there's a dude right behind him. All he had to do was
just point it. He had
all they had to do was jump on his aid. Shit was down. There was a dude right behind him, so all he had to do was just.
But what was the warrant for? That's even more so.
Like I said, I think it was a suspicion of drugs.
What?
His cousin though.
For drugs, so we called out we called out the SWAT team for that.
Yes.
So what was the outcome of that?
I think they got off, bro.
Bullshit. Yeah, probably
no. That's the whole story. Is that it wasn't? They didn't file charges.
Yeah, I think they all got off, bro. And so you know me, man. I'm always speaking from a psychological aspect, and cause and effect. And so I think about, again, we read the whole list of laws.
Homicide investigation. It was not a drug. It was a homicide investigation.
A homicide investigation, and you kick down the door, bro. I mean,
obviously he's already prepared to murder a motherfucker. Why would you just go running in there?
Thank you.
That is, I'm laughing about it, but it's
serious.
comically ignorant.
Think about this. You're sitting at your desk. Okay, we're gonna do a no-knock warrant. Okay, what is this case about? Oh, okay, we have suspicion that he committed a homicide.
Is this suspicion, or I mean, did he turn himself in and then they let him go? While they were investigating, or did he run away from the crime? I don't know the logistics of it, but
I never stayed attuned or really did a lot of research on it.
Yeah.
But the whole narrative changed once they shot this guy. That's what it was all about. I ain't hear nothing about the cousin and the suspicion and if he was called.
He had nothing to do with
the whole narrative changed.
So he wasn't the guy that they was looking for.
No, he was the cousin visiting his cousin.
He was visiting his cousin. So he was in his cousin's house that they were coming for. So it was definitely his cousin's place.
Oh, he was about to move to Dallas.
Was his cousin even in the house?
I don't think so.
God damn. Did they even find the cousin?
My point exactly. My point
God
exactly.
Damn.
The whole narrative changed.
Maybe that was his proxy.
Not the proxy.
Yeah, he did. He took it. Let you get shot in my place. How about that?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
But again, I think like
St. Bald Police Department applied for a knock and announce warrant, and the Minnesota Police Department insisted on a no-knock warrant. So the original warrant was they wanted to knock and announce, and hey, we're here, da 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 da. But the people executing it, it looks like, applied for a no-knock warrant, according to
insisted. They said it insisted on a no-knock warrant. Minneapolis doesn't have a good reputation between the people and the police.
Well, you think about the police, and
you think about the word insisted, and you go back and you think about George Floyd. It's like you knew something was gonna happen when you come in there,
bro. That was wrong on so many levels. It was wrong to insist for the no knock. It was wrong for the judge to grant the no knock.
So we train police officers. We do all those things. They have tons of it, and they're if I can be going 80 miles an hour and a cop can see I'm not wearing my seatbelt, right?
Which is fine. It's no choice, right?
Why can't they see? Obviously, he knows how to use a gun because look where his finger's at.
It's on the side. It's not even.
It's where they.
Yes.
It's where they.
It's where they train you in class when you're taking your license.
You don't hold your.
You don't put your finger on the trigger. You hold it on the side, and that's exactly where his hand is.
Well, traffic cops have better vision than.
So I get a ticket going 60, 70, 80 miles an hour for a no seatbelt, but they can't see that his finger's not on the trigger.
Hey man, what my listeners talking about over there, man? Let me see.
You got quite a few of them.
Let me see what my listeners talking about over there, because we definitely need to tune in. Hey,
if I was one of those good guys, I wouldn't let them bad guys know. Yeah, well,
okay,
I get what you're saying,
but you choose to be a police officer. Who, Mexi?
Yeah, that's
yeah, Mike. We was watching a video of a no knock warrant in Minneapolis.
Yeah, it's about Amari Locke.
And Mexi, I just want to say, from the distinction of good guys and bad guys, where I come from, I think the cops are the bad guys.
You said they wanted to see what we've seen.
I can't put it up there like that quite yet, but one thing that I can
share the link
is I can share the link for the video.
And sorry about that, listeners. We will not make that failure again. We'll be on top of that.
Let's see.
Bam, there it is.
So there is the there's that.
What else we got out there?
So the other thing obviously is, if you do a no-knock warrant, the idea is you can't flush drugs down the toilet. You can't get rid of evidence. You can't, all the things that I get the point of the no-knock warrant. But at the rate,
go back. You saying that the purpose of the no-knock warrant is to limit those times when people have the opportunity to throw away drugs and stuff, to try to stop that from happening.
Well, it'd be any evidence.
Any reaction.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why they do that,
right? But still, someone, it would, in the logical thinking of putting this all together, someone has to say, or even weigh out the pros and cons. Okay, if this, then that. If we go in, no knocking and all this kind of stuff, okay, do we have better chances of being successful with this versus we knock, we announce our presence, Now,
well, if I'm doing a no knock on a crack house, obviously I don't want them to know I'm coming because they're just going to get rid of all their drugs.
Crack house ain't gonna worry about you, bro. They end up getting high.
No. I'm talking about the dealer side of it, not the smoking side of it. I'm talking about the dealer side of it.
The dealer side don't even hang out in there like that. They come through, straighten everybody out, and get out the way.
Well, obviously, so yes, that is the purpose. So people can't get rid of evidence. That's the idea behind it. But at the point of y'all just shooting people, I think obviously it's time for no-knock warrants.
Okay, so the people can't get rid of evidence, but then we got body cam. You shooting someone, they don't have their finger on the trigger.
I'm with you.
And no repercussions when you literally murder someone again.
I'm with you.
Again,
that was the deal. They declined to press charges.
Do they still have that no-knock rule in there?
Yeah,
yeah.
They're trying to say they're trying to get rid of it, but at the same time,
the no-knock warrants is now under review.
Too many people are dead now.
After they actually,
so what's the success rate of that?
I think Fort Worth got rid of the.
They did.
Didn't? Yeah, Fort Worth got rid of the no-knock warrant. There's no more. They can't get them anymore.
So what was the like likelihood of people? I mean, what like from a statistic standpoint? I mean, how many of those ended up in shootings, like percentage wise? I wonder.
We need to do some research.
Yeah, we can look into that.
And I bet you any amount of money there was more police doing the
absolutely
shooting than the damn people that they raiding.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because that's the whole part. You're catching somebody off guard, so they don't have an opportunity to get prepared and shoot back at you. I'm giving you the flip of the coin. I'm with you. There, no-knock warrants have become at this point I think we're getting with body cams and everything else. It's coming more to light that Breonna Taylor, this kid, you can see my seatbelt, but you can't see his fucking fingers on the trigger. What the hell?
And again, these are chances that they take. They put themselves in these situations. They know the risk. You would think.
Please hold.
You would think that they know the risk, but then they go in there and they're justified of every action. In every case.
Yeah,
you can't.
We have to make sure. But again, that goes back to they're not going to change it. The only reason it changed in Fort Worth is because something you don't want to do, and that is the public started participating, saying, we're fucking done with this shit. No more. And there were marches and there were everything else. So finally, they didn't get rid of it because they wanted to get rid of it. I promise you, the city of Fort Worth or Tarrant County, whoever got rid of it, didn't want to get rid of it because they view it as if we knock on the door, we're basically saying, hi guys. Here we are.
Yes, you got enough balls to be a police and go kick somebody's door down.
But it didn't go away. Bro. The video was be it. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously he was very innocent. He was about to move to Dallas in a week. If you continue reading the article or you go to his Wikipedia deal, he was actually 7 days from moving to Dallas. Hell, you never know. He might have gotten shot here.
It said modified the use of the no-knock warrants.
Right, and that's But that got done because people stood up and said no more. I think the same thing is going to happen in Minnesota. Part of the deal that they're talking about is they have been out there. There are people that are saying we need this to be gone. This can't keep happening. And that is why they are now reviewing their policies, which is the same thing Fort Worth did. They reviewed the policy. They measured what is our success. You were asking about success. Obviously, yes. And then they realized, well, shit, this really doesn't do anything for us, and we need to stop doing it. Yeah. So again, it's because people participate in it in getting rid of it that it happened.
You know what? I wonder what was some people's participation. Was the people participation a part of this legislation being instituted? Did they put this on the ballot to be voted for, or did they take it upon their precious selves and say, man, this is what we need. Let's do it.
Yeah, we got to get rid of it.
You see what I'm saying? It's for the people, right? You understand?
But they wouldn't have gotten rid of it without pressure.
But still, why was it instituted?
The status. Well, we know why it was instituted. The institute was if let's say I'm a drug dealer. I'm not a drug dealer, but the cops come knocking on my door. Don't give that look. Come knocking on my door, and I got a ton of drugs. I got two choices. I can flush my drugs. That's number one. Or number two, I can get busted with all my drugs and go to prison.
Okay.
If you sitting there knocking on the door, I'm be like, hold on 1 minute, which isn't what I'm saying. The no knock needs to stop, needs to become, you knock on the door, you don't answer the door, you can break the door down. You don't just come running in the house. I mean, we have the technology we have today. You could literally be so loud, you could wake the dead.
I agree.
And this is the police. We're coming in. I think the kid on the couch probably would have been like,
exactly.
Even me, I'd have been like,
but again, who institutes these laws, who carry these laws out. And as I mentioned, they were wrong on so many levels, from the police insisting no knock versus knock, the judge granting the no knock, signing off on it.
See, he said it.
They're wrong on every level, bro. And
Someone lost their life
someone
over a moment of poor judgment. The question, though, is poor judgment or not poor judgment. Doesn't the police officer? So at what point? There you go. There's your good question.
Yeah.
At what point, just like with Derek Chauvin, poor judgment was he didn't get off of him. Poor judgment was he didn't check on George Floyd. There were tons of poor judgments right there, right? So at what point does poor judgment become an illegal activity? Chauvin, I mean, it became, to me, when that dude went limp, because obviously he died, so he had to go limp. And if you've ever been in a fight with somebody and you can feel them giving up and going limp, I mean, come on, man, you get the fuck off.
But is that poor judgment or bad intention? He had bad intentions when he got there, so everything that he did was intentional. That's
with
not
what? With George Floyd?
Both of these situations, they came.
So first off, I want to make sure that I get this clear. Derek Chauvin is guilty of murder.
Yeah,
but bad. His intent when he went there. They tried to put George Floyd in the car. So if his intention had been to murder him, I don't think they would have. And then George Floyd started saying, well, what it is, John. George Floyd started saying, well, I'm claustrophobic, which he had done previously in another arrest.
Mm-hmm.
So then he started pushing and kicking and trying. And so they dragged him out of the other side of the car. Because remember, he was the opposite. He wasn't on the sidewalk. So he went to the opposite. So I don't believe that Derek Chauvin went into that situation wanting to kill George Floyd.
No, I'm not saying that.
I believe he's such a dick, though.
Yes.
That was, to me, there was tons of poor judgment. And at what point does it become criminal? It becomes criminal when you just don't give a fuck.
Right.
That's, to me, that is when it becomes criminal. And I think once he went limp, and you can feel when somebody, especially as big as George Floyd was, when that dude kind of, man, get the fuck off of him. He wasn't arguing with you anymore. I mean, he was saying he couldn't breathe. He had said that in previous videos, but it doesn't matter. You know a point where a dude, when somebody has given up, you get the fuck up. That was 4 minutes.
There was no need to use.
He was on that motherfucker for 9 minutes. After 4 minutes, 4 minutes, dude's done. Imagine how much energy it takes to fight somebody to get out of a car, to fight somebody to get up, and when you're on the ground, you're fighting to get up. Imagine the amount of energy. That is 10 minutes of extraordinary energy that you're putting out. With that said, at what point does, poor judgment become criminal? With him, okay, so let's look at this cop. At what point does poor judgment become criminal? Mafio is the judge and executioner. What do you see for the police officer that shot that innocent young man? What would be your ideal solution?
Man, you can't resolve. What kind of resolution can you have to death? You just kill somebody, bro.
So you do nothing. I mean, they did nothing.
Well,
all right. Well, we'll go to Vaughn.
What I'm saying is, you're asking people to make a judgment, a split decision. In a situation that could end in somebody's death. Anytime you're asking somebody to make a split decision in a situation like that, something bad gonna happen, because now you're not giving either person the benefit of the doubt. The benefit of the doubt is taken away now. You bust up in my fucking house while I'm asleep. You don't know what the hell I may have been dreaming about, Conan the fucking Barbarian. You don't know what the fuck I've been dreaming about. I'm not gonna immediately wake up and be coherent. You know what I'm saying? You might wake up. You just gonna
So, but what's the? No, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I mean, Breonna Taylor is the perfect example of that. Well, he shot at me first. Well, but he shot at me first.
But I'm saying on both sides.
Fuck you were.
I have a rebuttal.
But I'm saying on both sides though. But I'm saying on both sides. Even if the cop opened the door, he's got a split second to make a goddamn decision right now. You know what I'm saying? He don't know whether or not this motherfucker digging in his nose or pulling a gun. I'm damn sure not gonna wait for you to shoot me. You know. So
I have a rebuttal.
The one cop did get in trouble because he fired a bullet and it ended up going to the neighbor.
He
got reckless. He got reckless something.
Yeah.
What's your?
I don't want to be a cop.
With the way. Okay, so my rebuttal to both situations is it goes back to the origination of the legislation, and again, cause and effect. The law is wrong, the cops is wrong for assisting it, and the judge is wrong for signing it off. They all should be charged with death.
So whoever was in charge
they took part in it. Okay. They were an accessory to this death.
So everybody goes to prison for murder. How many years?
Less than the motherfucker selling weed in Texas.
I grew up.
No. How much? Y'all are the judge, jury, and executioner. So how much time does?
At least 20. At least 20.
So the officer who shot
20.
The judge who authorized the
sergeant who got insisted on the no knock, the officer, the judge who signed off on it. Yes, all of them should be.
I think you should get
one
all
count.
Are an accessory
reckless
to this,
endangerment.
One count of reckless endangerment.
And they talked about poor judgment in the comments. Okay, the poor judgment was first started with the institution of this legislation. The poor judgment was started with the sergeant that insisted. The poor judgment was carried on with the judge who signed off on it, and it resulted in a poor judgment with this officer. Everyone is an accessory to this crime. Where I come from, when it comes to dealing with laws and crimes, they'll throw everybody in a basket. Conspiracy, all this kind of BS. It's
25
murder.
to life.
Yes, you fucking right. And they're going to give them 10 years.
They ain't get nothing.
My point exactly.
They ain't get nothing.
And you mean it? Come on, man. Come on, man.
They got a tough job, man.
Man, tough job, my
No. I'm just saying, just cop, period. I'm not talking about that cop or those that do that. I just mean, you think about all the friends that you have that's in law enforcement. And I put myself in people's shoes. It's like, I wouldn't want to have that job because now you taking all my instincts and all of my previous experiences growing up, and we're bundling those up into this new career that I have. And my street instincts take over first when I get in there. If I see a motherfucker moving that blanket,
with the gun.
I'm gonna be in trouble. I'm sorry. I'm not.
So I'm gonna give mine. Here's what I think. I think that obviously there was an initial knock and announce warrant. So whoever asked for the no knock warrant, you shouldn't have a job.
They didn't ask. They insisted.
Okay. It doesn't matter.
Read the article.
They insisted on the no knock warrant. So right then and there, you don't have a job. Obviously you were a cop. So you can never be a cop again, which I do like the thing where they're now starting the National Police Officer Database, which is keeping officers from doing bad in one place and then just going and applying to another police department. So that is actually in the work. So number one, everybody loses their job, from anybody who had to do with the no knock warrant lose their job. Legislation changes, dude who shot the guy, bad judgment and all. I don't believe you can give a guy 20 years for being a dipshit. I think you probably hit him with 10 years. He's going to do what? 5, 6, 7. Now, I don't know where you get your law from, but violent crimes don't follow regular. So you're going to do 6, 7, 8 or 5, 6, 7, 8 years. You can never be a cop again. You're a convicted felon. One of the things that we're seeing now is the mass exit of police officers, which I am all for. Anybody who's jumping off the bandwagon of being a police officer, you must not be very good because you're scared you're next. The judge should be provided with a risk assessment. That is true.
Charge them. Charge them.
So I think that is my end of it. I don't think you can blanket. So the other thing we want to do is we wanted to go to this Lionel Tate deal that happened many, many moons ago. If anybody ever remembers the 13-year-old kid who was a big, huge wrestling fan and ended up stomping a girl to death. Wrestling. And that's the thing is, if you've ever watched wrestling, we know it's fake because we're grown people.
Is it?
You got, come on, man. You got the. I'm not even gonna get into that debate, but let's accept
maybe
for
the
Bond.
punches. Maybe the punches.
Hey, share that link. Share
The
that link.
slams are real.
So he was 13 years old. He was convicted of murder, for
Wrestling with a 6-year-old.
wrestling
Young
with
girl.
somebody he was
5 to 99
babysitting.
years. For first degree.
Yeah,
Shit.
that's intentional.
Shit.
And the death penalty. So
You may need
he
to look that up,
stomped
too.
her. He stomped her. He did all that stuff. Same stuff. You see them,
See on TV.
but they're slamming their foot against the ground and hitting at the same time. I mean, athletic. Those wrestlers are 100% athletic. If you see some of the crap they do, but that's what he was doing. He was playing around with her and ended up getting. What did he end up getting?
Shit, well, he 30,
Life in prison without
well,
the
he
possibility.
35.
Life
Well,
in
he
prison.
35 now, right?
Well, it was initially overturned, which it's we're really not focusing on. Who the fuck convicts a 13-year-old of
For-
playing around and not knowing the difference between it's just pretend and that it's
13-year-old.
real?
Mm-hmm.
How in the world? What jury? What judge? Because most people don't realize that if a jury finds you guilty, a judge can actually say, "Hold on,
Yeah.
we're going to set we understand, we're going to keep it, it'll be part of the record, but I do believe that there are some legal things that need to be dealt with." So it's not only the jury that did it, but it was the judge that basically sentenced this kid to life in prison. Without the possibility of parole.
Life without. And you mean to tell me you can intentionally pull your gun out and shoot somebody and you're going to get 10 years, 20 years? I know people that got drug cases.
Okay,
That's longer than
let's
that.
concentrate on the 13-year-old that got, and again, it was overturned, but the fairness and the common sense and how laws are applied, which gets me to one of my favorites. And since we're at 52 minutes, we only got 7.
No doubt.
The Ethan Couch.
AKA.
This is the guy who got charged with vehicular manslaughter for being drunk. Who was driving his truck, ended up running into a car and killed 4 people.
Underage too.
No, it was a bunch of kids.
Underage drinking.
Yeah. So in the end, his defense was he was too rich to know the difference between right and wrong. It was what they call it?
Affluenza.
Of course, now we know he went batshit crazy,
Not
went to
the flu.
Mexico, ended up going, didn't even get that much time. Yet in years prior, the same judge had sentenced a black
kid.
minor who had committed vehicular manslaughter of one person to 10 years in prison.
Wow.
That was the big story of the whole thing.
I remember that when I first moved to Texas. It was somewhere around 2012, 2014.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Mhm.
That was absolutely ridiculous.
But then again, it's been like that my whole life, bro.
So what's the reverse? The flip of affluenza?
Poor-luenza? Broke-luenza? Broke-luenza?
Mafia.
Yeah. So
Broke-luenza?
they don't give people that's on the opposite end of the spectrum that benefit of the doubt. They don't give them that.
So let's take the
Because he grew
same
up-
thing, because this is actually where the discussion you and I were having.
Okay.
So he was too rich to know right from wrong in that instance.
Mhm.
Now we take Michael Vick and we put him into this deal.
Yeah.
He grew up with dog fighting. Not that I'm a huge dog person, so let's not go batshit crazy over that. But He grew up with dog fighting. There was nothing wrong with dog fighting. It was part of his life. So wasn't he dogfluenza? Dog fighting Luenza?
Well,
I mean, it was already so much part of him growing up.
Yeah, but yeah, dogs and people not on the same level, in my opinion, and I think in a lot of areas, I just don't.
Right, but ours is about he grew up being too rich to know right and wrong. Michael Vick never saw an issue between right and wrong and dog fighting. He never really realized. So does he get dogfluenza? What does he? You have people who grow up not knowing that, hey, I'm not supposed to do that. You know, you whether it be dog fighting or, I mean, what, Richard Pryor's mom was a madam or something. And so he didn't, treating women like crap was just
the way
he grew up, you know, viewing women as nothing but a hoe. I mean, thank God we're not in Oklahoma. I can get a ticket for what I just said.
Yeah, a major ticket.
You know, so does the same apply? I mean, would that same judge take, you know, Michael Vick goes in her courtroom after Mr., you know, too rich to know right from wrong. You know, I was too poor and saw dog fighting my entire life. It was just a standard part of my life. I should get dogfluenza.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I would hate to be the judge, which you know, made me think of a lot of different situations, like how do you decide whether somebody gets this judgment or not? How do you just decide as a human being that this person deserves to have lethal injection or whatever? And I just read a story the other day. I think it's in Carolina that they passed being killed by firing squad or some shit. Did you read that? Look it up.
It's a heck of a way to go, though.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying this shit was in the news.
Going out like a champ.
Right. They said something about having a firing squad. You didn't hear about that?
Mm-mm. Death by firing squad.
Yeah, here in the United States.
Come on, man.
But why not? One bullet to the head. Over with.
No,
firing squad.
No, they wanted 3 people. They wanted 3 people. 3 people that's in the law enforcement or whatever to volunteer to be on the firing squad.
What? And you know what? That is not a bad idea. And everybody who volunteers, everybody who volunteers is fired. Just think about that. Who the fuck would volunteer to intentionally murder somebody?
Look it up and
I
see
can
which.
give you a few
But
personality traits.
I know, but that would be the perfect example. We're gonna bring back firing squads. We need volunteers. Everybody who raises your hand, you're all fucking fired. Everybody who's okay with it, go over here. What now?
Shit.
Man,
what is it?
Man, listen,
I don't know. It's a firing squad and death penalty.
And why you get that story, man? I just think about like how laws are made.
See, right there, South Carolina. I told you.
First execution.
They scheduled it.
I told you. Okay. That's what I'm telling you. I was just reading that. See that?
Share that. Oh man, this is going down already.
Man, you see,
it's scheduled.
Are you serious? Like a firing squad? It was either he had a choice out of being on a firing squad or having lethal injection.
Who have a choice? The person that's about to be killed?
Yeah.
You mean to tell me?
Well, we gotta read it.
You gonna give me the liberty to choose my way of death?
He already served 20-some years.
Already served 20-some years.
He's already served time for his crime.
I wonder what his crime was.
Shit.
Even if it was
convicted of killing a convenience store clerk.
Okay, these cops and these judges should be convicted of killing these people with these no-knock warrants. You see what I'm saying?
You did have a part to do with it.
I think from a psychological aspect.
No. He had a choice between the electric chair and a firing squad.
Electric chair. I'm sorry.
I will take the firing squad. Hell yeah. I'd be like, I need your best marksman.
I was about to say, what if
Right
they shoot
here.
you all in the body and
No.
They said they pulled
Fuck outta here, yo.
they said they pulled the thing over the guy's head.
That's fine, but
don't
I mean,
care.
does it have a bullseye? Do they draw like a
Come
little
on,
red
man.
dot?
Come
I'd
on,
be
man.
like,
And do they all
man,
shoot at the same time?
Yes.
That is inhumane.
Firing squads they all shoot at the same time because nobody. It's just like the lethal injection where multiple people push
That
wheels
is
and nobody knows who did it.
inhumane.
Man,
bro.
just think about that though.
Between the electric chair and the fucking firing squad, I'll take firing squad. all
Do
day
you
long.
think we need to institute third world country rules here? Like if you steal, cut the motherfucking finger and hand off.
Singapore.
I-
Do you remember when all that was going on in
you
Singapore?
know what I think? I think that everybody should be judged equal. I don't care what your profession is. You're a police officer, you're a regular civilian. If everybody was judged equally, then I could rock with some of this stuff, bro.
See, that
Yeah,
brings
but
back
don't-
one
Because of
thing.
this blue wall, this fraternity of police shit, they got a whole
Affluenza.
Come
Oh,
on,
That's
man.
man.
bullshit.
They have a
Because
whole
of that,
different,
he should've got
when it
10
comes to
years, too.
sentencing and repercussions to their actions, bro. They
Yeah.
held at a totally different standard.
But with that, we need to change. So, for example, the more money you have, the better lawyer you get. The better lawyer you get, the better deal you get. You take a hold on.
you mean more connected?
Thank you.
Correct.
Yeah.
But in the US, a lot of that comes from your judges aren't allowed to have any say. In other words, all they can do is look at the evidence that's given to them. If we had a judicial system that allowed judges to do the things that they should be able to do, and you look at what happened to the 17-year-old white drug dealer who the judge has now come back. You know, she had a case come to
What
her.
the hell is a kill shot?
I don't know, not in the heart.
If one shoots in the heart, one in the head, and the third fires the kill shot, well, the first two wasn't kill shots?
I don't know.
It's
But
inhumane.
judges should be able to have more.
Say so.
Rather than just saying, oh, well, this is what's presented to me, this is all I can do.
Yeah.
You have to have some, and that judge said, you know, she looked back at the previous case of where he was convicted, and the judge didn't have a choice. And so when the case was brought before her, all she was looking for was that one thing that would allow her to overturn it. And because it was presented to her. But remember, she knew that there were things in there that would completely throw that case. But because she wasn't allowed to self-review it, it was another judge, but self-review it, she had to wait till it was presented to her.
And
that shit needs to stop.
Which case was this?
The 16, 17-year-old kid that was up in Detroit dealing drugs.
Oh,
White boy,
okay.
whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Read the deal about the judge. It shit's crazy. She's like, the thing had holes all in it.
I saw it. I saw a documentary on it, and the judge like, man, he should be let free and all this and everything.
But she was like, I can't do anything until it is presented. The evidence is presented to me.
And think about the
That's
politics
crazy.
with that whole thing, from the mayor and all that. They was all connected. The mayor was the
And he was
biggest
an
drug
FBI
dealer.
informant.
The mayor was the drug
What's the
dealer,
name
yo.
of the documentary?
I'm gonna find out for you, and I'm gonna find out for y'all, and I'm gonna get back to you because it's very,
And this
very
happened
interesting.
where?
This was
Detroit.
around that BMF time back in the day. It was the white boy. I forget his name.
White boy
bro.
Rick.
White boy Rick was his name, and he was selling cocaine.
Slick
But at
Rick.
the same time, he was connected with the police officer.
Yeah.
And then the police officer was connected familiarly with the mayor, and they like, man, my people ain't finna go. The mayor said,
they
my people
following
ain't finna
that-
go down.
They following that
Get him
money.
out the way.
Yeah.
Get him out the way.
Yeah.
Bro, politics, man. And
Yeah.
see, and that's why I say,
That's
man,
who you know.
this world is
But we need to
constructed.
change specifically that about our legal, because it would create so much balance in our legal system. If a judge, I'm not saying a judge has to, and most of the time a judge isn't going to give their opinion. It's not
Okay.
about their opinion. It's more about, hey, you know, this is an actual deal that's out there. You know, a lot of people don't know about the law in Texas. It's 1244 that takes, you know, a felony and turns it into a misdemeanor. There's tons of laws out there that other, you know, no offense, but better lawyers, and better lawyers are always paid lawyers. That's the reason. It's how they get paid. There has to be a way to balance, because justice is not blind. I can promise you that. Justice has a pile of money on one side and poor people in the other, and I promise you that pile of money gets more weight than anything else.
Justice is a fantasy.
Absolutely.
All
All right, guys,
bullshit.
we've hit it. Let's go.
Hey, and again, welcome to another amazing episode of the People's Rebuttal Podcast. Again, I thank you all listeners for joining us today. Appreciate all of your participation and comments. That's what we live for. Again, share those topics, share those questions y'all have for us to, throw out here into the ether with the People's Rebuttal.
You too, Jesse.
Rebuttal Podcast. Hit them, Big Vi.
Yeah, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, and share. Goddamn it, share the love.
All right, guys.
Hey, let's get talking, man. Let's talk about this world we live in.
Have a great day.